Okay. What's going on, good people? How we doing? Happy Saturday to everybody. Happy Saturday, everybody. How's everybody doing, man? Hopefully everybody's doing good. Training camp is right around the corner. Actually, it's not even around the corner. Training camp's next week. Let me know if the audio's good. Let me know if the visual's good. Shout out to the people that's already in the building. Make sure you hit that like button. Let the algorithm know that we in the building. We're going to do a lot of things today. Coach Ed, what's going on, Coach Ed? All right, let's do a quick roll call. My man OKC Donald super early with the comments. Says New York Giants 1,000%. Luann always in the building. Shout out to Luann. Says, hey, Big Dash. My man Kareem Rock. What's going on? Demir said, what up, Dash? What's going on, Demir? The Big Moo is in the building already. What's going on, Big Moo? My big brother in the building. What's going on? Hopefully everything is going well with you. Again, Coach Ed, peace and blessings. King Dash, Big Dash, whatever it is, what it is. Shout out to you, Coach. Mo is in the building. My man Busy the Kid is in the building. He says, watch your videos, first live stream. Excited to be here. I'm happy that you're here. And hopefully I can live up to your expectations if you do have any expectations. But I appreciate the love and support. Thank you for watching the videos, man. Thank you for letting me know I'm good. My man Born for Sports, what's going on? Happy Saturday to you. Kevin Wilson, what's going on? Jose, what's going on? Thank you for letting me know everything is good. Yeah, we're going to talk about some things today. If you read the thumbnail, we're going to be building the ultimate New York Giants team today. So we should have some fun with that tonight. I'm going to use everybody's participation. I'm going to need everybody's participation in that. I do have my list already, but I will be getting some feedback from you guys as well. Yeah. But let me know some things, man. Let me know what y'all been up to, man. I know it. Before we do that, shout out to everybody that tuned in on Wednesday for the pop-up show. It wasn't planned, and still a bunch of you guys showed up. I appreciate the love and support for that. Let you guys know too, though, man. So the plan for the season, and I already got the first guest lined up for week 1. I'm gonna have a Washington Commander content creator on the channel. We're gonna do the Wednesday before the game. I'm gonna call it. I'm still messing around with the names a little bit. I want to call it the Giants War Room. We'll see what happens. But my plan is to, the Wednesday before each game this season is to have a content creator, or somebody off of social media from the opposing team to come on the show on Wednesdays. Probably do like an hour show. Keep it shorter than the ones we do on Saturday. And then, vibe out, talk a little trash if it comes to that. Of course, you guys can light people up in the chat. Just keep it respectful. But that's the plan for the season. Got the first guy lined up already. After that, you figured out Dallas Cowboys are week 2. So I'm working on that guest now, too. I got some connection with some Dallas Cowboy fans. So that shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to reach out to those guys soon, too. But just wanted to say that. Shout out to my man, Jay Ferris.
Here comes the money. Here we go.
He says, I want to know, Big Dash, you say we have a love-hate relationship. You selling Jalen Hyatt hats and wolf tickets. I donate to your channel more than anyone. Who loves who and who hates who? Yeah, the love and support is there always. The love-hate relationship is the things that we debate on. That's what it's about. I love debates. Especially when they're respectful. I debate with you about Russell Wilson. I debate with you about Jalen Hyatt a little bit too. So that's where the love-hate relationship comes in there. Just for clarity. Jay Ferris came for my neck already. Pause. Hirsch for real, what's going on? My man Brian Howard, what's going on? Says, Dash, you've been busy giving us great content. Very proud of you, fam. I appreciate that, Brian. Shout out to you. TD Midas, what's going on? Dash tells your son to stop dropping the heat in the intros. Oh, shout out. That's not my son on that intro for this live. That's actually my brother-in-law's brother. Shout out to my man Nove9. He produces beats. He's on all social media platforms. You can catch him on Instagram. You can catch him on Twitter. You can catch him on Facebook, all over the place. But his name is Nove9. He made that beat. He didn't make that beat for this channel. He actually put out a video with that beat. I told him, hey, can I use that on my show? He was like, of course. And that's what I did. So if you get a chance, I don't have his link for his his YouTube or anything, but his name is Nove9. Though you'll find him on Instagram. But that's who made that beat, the intro beat. We keep it family though. A lot of this stuff is family. You know what it is. That's how we do. That's how we do. We keep it close. We keep it tight. Jay Ferris with another $10 super chat. They're gonna use up all my buttons. Let's see.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Shout out to you, Jay Ferris. Let me tell you, Big Dash, I love my women, my coffee, and my New York Giants content creators all the same, strong and black, baby. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate the love and support, man. You already know that, though. You already know that. My man TP Way is in the building. Says Peach Dash into the chat. Shout out to TP. I saw you put out a video today. I saw that video talking about the disrespect of Russell Wilson. If you have not checked out that video, I suggest you guys go ahead and do that. Jay Ferris, I suggest you go ahead and check out my man TP Way's video on Russell Wilson and the disrespect that's happening on Russell Wilson. Go ahead and check that out. I don't want to start no trouble, though. I don't want to start no trouble. Born for Sports says, man, I'm so ready for training camp to start. Let's start the journey. Commanders first on the menu. That's a fact. They are on the menu. The Commanders are on the menu, and they stay trash talking too, man. And the funny thing about it is, like I said, I have some good relationships with a couple of Commander fans. And for me, it's like once game weeks is here, all that friendship stuff, we're going to trash talk, man. We're going to trash talk, man, for sure. Especially, the start of the season. Oh, we're going to talk some trash, man. We are absolutely going to talk some trash. Again, salute to everybody that's already in here. Make sure you hit that like button. Let the algorithm know we in the building. It costs you nothing. Jump out of the chat, hit the thumbs up, and you done. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much. A lot of shout outs in the chat, man. But before we get into this Ultimate Giants team, and you know what's crazy? I'm going to send out some invites. Coach Ed, let me know if you're still interested. But we're gonna talk about these Giants because you know what? I can't just do a list. Obviously, I got the comment section going. The chat is live. But I would love to throw. Actually, some positions aren't going to be debatable at all. I think we all are in agreement on some positions when it comes to building this depth chart for the New York Giants all-time ultimate team. But I'm curious to see, what happens. Luann says you're excited for preseason. Starters don't play enough. Listen, this year the starters got to play more than they played previously. Hopefully, Brian Daboll takes what Russell Wilson is saying, to heart about, you need more reps, and hopefully that includes the preseason because these guys, I'm pretty sure they looked at the schedule and see what the first 4 games are. They already know what it is. This offensive line needs to gel. You had guys coming back off of injury. You got guys that were out for almost a whole year with Andrew Thomas. And we need these guys to play. Now, Andrew Thomas, with the injury, he probably won't play, depending on what's going on. We'll find out more this week with training camp starting to see, where he is. Are they going to hand him a helmet or not? Is he going to be out on the sideline? Also, when it's training camp, you have the infamous red jerseys that come out, and that the red jerseys let everybody know that you're injured. So, I can't wait for training camp, man. You get a lot of answers. You get answers to a lot of the questions that we have, man. Look how the love and support is going. My man TG1 said just sub to TP Way. That's how we do it, man. That's how we do it, man. Build this community up, man. Us content creators got to stick together. You know what I mean? We're trying to do this thing the right way. My man Tim, what's going on, Tim? He says, will Dangerous lead Big Blue to the playoffs this year? I'm going to ask you, Tim, because you always got the good, the good comments and the good predictions. I'm going to ask you, Tim. I do think it's possible for Russell Wilson to get the Giants to the playoffs. I think the team, as far as the defense goes, and I think if he plays like Russell Wilson can play, and all I need you to do is get the ball to the playmakers. I think we do have enough playmakers to possibly make that push. Now, also, it depends on how many games actually get you to the playoffs. Now, if you need 12, 13 wins to get you to the playoffs, then I don't know. That's a tough hill to climb. But listen, I'm all here for it. For sure. He said, my man Born for Sports said bubble wrap Andrew Thomas. He's already in the bubble, man. He is already in the bubble. He's been in the bubble for 2 seasons. It is what it is. It is what it is. TG1 says, I'm tired of Daboll not playing starters in the preseason. What have they done to get time off? That's the $1 million question. That is the $1 million question. We said it like, what was it? The year that we played the Carolina Panthers in the preseason, right? We ran right down the field. It was 2023. We had Darren Waller. We went right down the field and scored, and we didn't see this offensive starters again to the first game of the season. Then what happened? We got smoked 40-0. Just because, right? Just because you felt good about one drive against the Carolina Panthers in 2023, and we already know how bad the Carolina Panthers are. And that's not a shot. That's just real talk. I don't know what they're going to be this year. Don't really care either. But we need to practice, man. Shout out to my man, Jay-Lay. What's going on, Jay-Lay? He said, what up, Dash? Week 1 is so close I can smell it. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. My man, Ghost Dog, what's going on? He said, salute to the tribals. That's a fact. Big Moo, I appreciate you. Let the people know to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. That's a fact. Coach Ed, I got you, Coach Ed. I'm gonna send you that link for sure. My man Tim says, Will Thibodeau set a new single season sack record with 24. Listen, man, Tim. If Kayvon Thibodeau gets 24 sacks, he's probably gonna hold out year 5, even though we got the 5th-year option on him. He probably gonna hold out for a new deal. He get 24 sacks. I mean, I would love to see it. But you have to dip in the bag if you do something like that. Busy the kid said, give me PTSD. Yeah, we got to play our starters, man. We got to play our starters. Ghost says, think he goes off 10, but 24, we can only hope. That's a fact, man. That's a lot. That is a lot. My man Born for Sports says, looking forward to seeing Scatterbull and Tracy running over Von Miller. Listen. And it's crazy, too, because when I did that live on Wednesday, that was the only reason why I did the live. I saw the news about Von Miller getting signed, and I said, I got to talk to the people. Because at first, I'm like, man, they keep trying to, build this roster, which they are. I mean, I'll give them the credit. Adam Peters is trying to build this roster, but he got a whole senior citizen committee over there right now. Between Bobby Wagner and Von Miller, those guys are going to be taking snaps away from your young up-and-coming players. And guess what? It's the Commanders, so I really don't care. Go ahead and ruin the development of your players. But yeah, I'm not worried about the Von Miller deal. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I got some faith in the guys on the outside. I like Illuminor. I like Andrew Thomas. Well, I love Andrew Thomas when he's healthy. I like what Jermaine Illuminor can bring. So, it is what it is. We got to protect the quarterback regardless of who's on the other side. And if it's Von Miller, it's Von Miller. My man Jose said Miller is washed. Yeah, I'm feeling the same way. Busy the Kid says Washington's defense ain't looking too hot. Tell that to the Commander fans, though. Tell that to the Commander fans. Because right now they got tunnel vision. They looking right past it. Every Commander fan that I've talked to, they're looking right past the Giants. They're looking at week 2. They're looking at Green Bay already. They're looking right through us. And guess what? I love it. Keep on doing that. I can't. It's just going to be even better when we win week 1. When we win, not if we win. When we win week 1. Born for Sports says, man, Miller washed and dried. He says, they are the oldest team in the NFL. They're about to find the F out week 1. Now they are one of the older teams. And it's crazy too because, I think they believe that they're in the Super Bowl window. With some of the moves that they made, the Laramie Tunzel, they went ahead and got some older players that they believe still have something left in the tank because they want to catch that lightning in the bottle with Jaden Daniels. So I believe that they believe they're in the Super Bowl window. That's why they made some of the moves that they made. Debo Samuels and stuff like that. You see what's going on with Terry McLaurin not wanting to pay him. I think that deal gets done anyway. But yeah, man, it's just crazy to me. Shout out to my man Frank Nardi in the building. Nardi, you from Jersey? Let me know if you from Jersey. He says we're going 2-0 to start the season. Any relation to Mike Nardi? Frank, let me know. Used to play for St. Pat's when I played. No, not for St. Pat's though, but because that's the Nardi. I don't see the Nardi name too much, and I know yeah. I believe it's Mike Nardi that played for St. Pat's. He played with Al Harrington and all them when they played for St. Pat's. Sam Dellenberg. Yeah. He said too many Nardis. It's a lot of y'all over there. Okay. Maybe. Let me know if that's family to you, though. Let me know if Mike Nardi's family. If he's not, he's not. It is what it is. He said 200,000 Nardies. That's a fact. It might be, man. Sean Lee says we have a quarterback that can recognize defenses with these weapons and Dable's offense. I'm loving it. All right, let me go ahead and get this link sent over to Coach. Give me just a moment so I can do that. Oh, man, Coach. Let me find Coach. Bear with me just a moment so I can get this link over to Coach. Where is my link? All right, what we doing? Just a moment. Dun, 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 dun. Let me. As soon as I get this link, Coach, I'll send it to you. It's not letting me pull the link, so give me just a moment. He said, Frank said probably not related. Now, I only say that because, like, literally, the only other Nardi I knew was Mike Nardi, and I figured, hey, it's New Jersey. Last name is Nardi. Maybe you're related. Maybe you're related. Let's see if I get this. Okay, here we go. Get this to Coach. All right, Coach, I just sent it to you. Oh, hold on. Let's see if it went through. Let me try it again. All right, let me go ahead and delete that. Let me try it again, Coach. See if this sucker work. All right, Coach, I sent it to you, so it's there. It's there. So again, yeah. So I need everybody's help with building this Ultimate Giants team. I just want, what's crazy? I've been talking about training camp and being ready for training camp and all the storylines for training camp. I've been doing that for a while. And I said, you know what? This is right before training camp. Let me lighten up the mood a little bit, and let's have some fun. Let's talk about this all-star Ultimate New York Giants team, man. Let's see, sports media. Ghost Dogs and sports media always down in this team. That's a fact. Absolutely. And then Born for Sports says Russ best quarterback we've had since Eli. Just give me steady Pittsburgh Russ with our defense. We will win games. That's the formula right now. That's a fact. All right, so I got Coach Ed in the build. I'm going to add you now, Coach. Let me see if I get you. Hold on just a moment. All right, Coach Ed, what's going on, Coach? How we doing?
Peace and blessings, man. How you doing? I'm good. I'm doing good.
You coming through loud and clear, too? All right, man. So, like I said, I had to have you on the show. It was your idea, and I ran with it. So, what we gonna do is,
the challenge actually came from TP because he challenged me. He did it. He challenged me, and then I'm spreading the love to everybody else. So it's really TP. So that's where I got it from.
All right, we're gonna clear it up. Then we got to give the credit to TP. Then we're gonna give the credit to TP. Shout out to TP. And let me get to a couple more of these comments before we jump into this list. And again, I'm expecting a lot of you guys to participate in this, especially when we get to some of these positions, because some people might be mad at me because, Coach, you first time you said it, Coach, you was like all time Giants for every position, right? And I started to put my list together, and I was like, you know what, all time. I'm saying, but how about I build the ultimate roster? 11 on offense, 11 on defense. I did special teams too. It is what it is.
Did you see mine though?
I didn't see yours. Did you add it in? Is it in there?
Oh, I got something special in there. Yeah, something that nobody else has ever done. So
okay, all right. Well, now I'm interested. Now I'm super interested right now. What's going on, Paul? Man, Darnell Big Money, what's going on? How you doing, man? He says, Dash, what's good? You ready for next week? Yeah, man, I'm ready for all the news stories, man. Wednesday is going to be Wednesday. I'm excited for it. I can't wait for this to start, man. And again, we get to see exactly who's really injured because the red jerseys will be coming out to let us know. Is this Mike on podcast? Shout out to you. What's going on? My man Giants Topic is in the building. He says, what's going on, Coach and Dash? Shout out to you, Giant Topic. Again, there's a lot of wonderful New York Giants content creators that are in the chat right now. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to those channels as well. We are building up this community. So, Coach, I want to start on the offense first, right? I do want to start on the offense. And I will say, and I'm going to get to the comments while we're doing this. I ain't going to leave you guys hanging. Make sure you guys are participating as well. So right off the bat, quarterback. All-time quarterback. You're building your ultimate New York Giants team. Who is your quarterback? Again, they had to play for the Giants. They might have played for the Giants 1 season or 100 seasons. We'll see what happens, but you know where I'm going with it. 2-time Super Bowl MVP.
Everybody goes with Eli first.
You said everybody, like you included, right? You included?
I don't go with Eli first.
Oh boy, okay. First name, first debate.
Well, I go with the reason why I'm a Giants fan. Okay. The quarterback who I came in with, which was Phil Simms. I started in '79. I was actually, my dad's a Steelers fan, so I knew the Steelers in the '70s, and he took me to see the Giants and the Steelers play in the Meadowlands. And I'm like, Jersey got an NFL team, and won't be a hole. Phil Simms was there, and that's my quarterback.
Listen, hey, I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm going with Eli Manning. I'm going with Super Bowl MVP.
That's fair. That's fair.
Phil Simms was my first quarterback too. He was my first quarterback, even though I saw Jeff Hostetler in my first Super Bowl that I really got a chance to watch. I was 7 years old at the time. But yeah. And you know what's crazy about that Super Bowl? There's a couple memories I remember. I was in Irvington, New Jersey. I was at my aunt's house. They had the famous New Jersey two family homes. And I remember Whitney Houston singing the national anthem. I remember that because I knew who Whitney Houston was. And then a bunch of eating, bunch of family talking trash, and then wide right. That's it. That's all I remember at that age. At that age, that's all I remember.
Can I say something to Paul?
Go ahead.
He said Eli first, Simms won 1 Super Bowl, Eli 2. Technically, Simms won 2. He got hurt that year, and that's where Hostetler came into play. Absolutely. Simms was leading the team that year, and he was playing very well. In my personal opinion, he would have. I think if the Giants won, he would have got 2 Super Bowl MVPs. That's just my opinion. So, and I know that's my quarterback, so I'm being a homer. So yeah. So, just to stand correct, it's for those who think Simms only played in 1 and won 1. He won 2, but he played in 1. So.
Yeah. TP Way says Eli Simms, the only respectable answers. I hit. Shout out to my man DeMarco in the building. He says Dash was good. I looked at one of your videos not too long ago, and you said you won't go live for a game. You have to at least go live for 1 game this year. I enjoy watching your channel. Listen, I try to explain it to y'all, man. When I watch these games, don't expect any kind of content. It's intense, man, and then it's a roller coaster of emotions, especially if we're losing. I get to start calling out plays because we become predictable at points. So I don't know, man. I might do it, maybe. We'll see what happens, man. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can deal with it, but it is what it is. DeMarco also says I need to see the real Dash and hype. There you go. See, there you go. Everything I just said. That's exactly what happens. It's bad though. Like it's bad. Like I try to keep this channel free from profanity and stuff like that. But yeah, I can't promise. Might not be safe for the babies. And you know what? I don't know how many kids, watch the show that are at that age where, they're offended by cuss words, but it is what it is. I try to keep it as clean as possible. That's just me on this channel. Coach, you and I know. It is what it is. Yeah. In certain settings, it is what it is. All right. So next, I'm going to running back, Coach. I'm going to running back. And it was easy for me. Actually, it was easy when I first thought about it because it was quick. It just made a lot of sense. And then I thought about my childhood and my favorite running back, like growing up, and the reason why I played, running back in school and all that. And I went back and forth for myself, but I finally said, you know what? Nah, I'm not even gonna play around. It's Tiki Barber for me.
Tiki's one, yeah.
Tiki Barber for me. Okay, so we agree on that. Let me know in the chat, running back. So we got Eli Manning as the starting quarterback. Well, it was a 50-50 split. Actually, I'm gonna let the chat decide because me and Coach didn't agree. It's a 50-50 split. So right now, either all I need you to do is type in one word, either Eli or Simms. And then we're going to run with that. and then we're gonna go right back to this running back conversation. But I need at least 10 people to put in what they have for quarterback or who they have for the quarterback. Just real quick.
Dash, why are you doing that? Everybody's gonna
stand
back. I stand back. I see it already. So I'm
my
surprised.
Man David.
Yeah.
Yep. Eli. So I got 2 for Eli, 1 for Sims. Somebody in here trolling. Scout boy in here trolling. All right, look. All right, I get one more Eli and we have it, right? One more Eli and we have it. We're gonna run with that. All right, so Eli. All right, thank you, Ghost Dog. Thank you, Ghost Dog. So, okay, so now we both agree with Tiki.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. Anybody in the chat want to name any other running back outside of Tiki? Go ahead and put that in the chat right now. The guy that I was talking about too, though, was Rodney Hampton. Rodney Hampton was big for me growing up, especially in the 90s for me. Yeah, it was that was my guy. That was my actually, I caught it, DeMarco. I caught the pause already. I caught it.
2 was actually Joe Morris for me. I did 4.
Joe Morris?
Yeah, so good.
Okay, now I had a couple of them. And you know what's crazy? I had Rodney Hampton. I had Rodney. And then, but also when I thought about, okay, I'm building the ultimate Giants team. Saquon was also on the list.
I didn't have Saquon on my list.
He was also on the list. He was on TP. We ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to worry about it. He was also because again.
Go ahead. No, finish what you're saying.
No, I was going to say. Again, this is the ultimate team. Also, you know, I'm building a team as well. And Tiki got it, but Saquon Barkley was definitely right up there.
When I was put Saquon on for one reason, and it's not because he went to the Eagles. It's because he was hurt too much.
I hear you. I'm not going to argue with
That's the only reason why. If he wasn't hurt so much, then probably I could see him pushing for number 1. Honestly, I can't. So, but you know, for me, I couldn't even have him at 4 on my list. So,
okay. No, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. My man Paul said Gifford. Hey man, listen, that's a legend.
For me, I only did for the players that I saw in my lifetime. I didn't do anybody before. You know, because there were too many that if you go way back into all the way to 1925, think about that. There's so many great players. So
right now, I got one legend on here that I didn't see myself. I got one legend. We'll get to that part when we get to that part.
I think I know what it is.
My man Astro James says Ahmad Bradshaw. Again, Paul said Gifford.
4 for me was Brandon Jacobs. So just for the record.
Okay. I only went 3. I only went 3.
No, I understand.
A man born for sports says Hampton, my favorite Giants running back all time, even though Tiki was better. Now again, Rodney Hampton has a special place in my heart though, for sure. And you know what? Is the Mike on podcast? He mentioned Dave Meggett. So what I want to do right now, I'm gonna forget the order really quickly because he reminded me with David Meggett. I'm gonna go to special teams. Special teams. I do have Dave Meggett as the returner. All Giants team for this ultimate Giants team. I got Dave Meggett as the returner.
I got Dave Meggett and McConkey as my 2.
Okay. Yeah. I want to get that out of the way. Who do you have for your kicker?
The kickers I have. I think it's. Hold on, let me double check. I have Tynes and I think Raul Allegre.
Okay, yeah, I got Tynes.
I have Tynes and Raul Allegre, and my punters are Jennings and Landetta.
You didn't do Jeff Eagles for the punter? No. Oh,
Dave Jennings, bro, was a beast, and Sean Landetta. I only went 2 because
Landetta was on my list. But yeah, I had to go with Jeff Eagles. I went more recent. With it.
I get it.
So special teams kicker, got Tynes as my number 1. I got Jeff Eagles as a punter. I got Dave Meggett as a returner. Okay.
That's fair. Nice. I can't argue those. Those are some good picks.
And then as we were talking about that, you got a lot of Tiki Barbers in the chat. Tiki's. I got a Brandon Jacobs from my man Jay Lay.
Jay Lay, what's up?
Phil got Hampton in the practice pants.
Otis Anderson, yes.
Morris was another one. Yeah. Now we had a couple of them, right? We had a couple of them.
So let me ask you a question. Here's the $1 million question, because Dash, I know this was your position.
Okay.
You were fullback.
I got Henry Hynoski, man. I was almost going to go 80s. I got Henry Hynoski. Listen, I went with the Hinoceros. I went with the Hinoceros.
Maurice Parkman and Charles Way.
I knew Charles Way was coming. Charles Way with the horse collar.
Yeah.
Number 30.
Maurice was the biggest one. That was an offensive lineman in the backfield who could run and catch.
Yeah. Now, we've been fortunate to have some athletic fullbacks, though.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Charles Way was in the mid-90s. Charles Way was him. Charles, for sure. Yeah, I like Charles Way too, man. The horse collar. And it's crazy. I tried the horse collar for about 2 games. It's just too uncomfortable.
No, when I played, I had the horse collar with the roll right behind it.
You had the roll too?
Yeah. Remember, I'm a D lineman, so you always had offensive linemen who got the hands up and which allowed me to stabilize my neck. So that's why I did it.
I only did it because I thought it was gonna make me look bigger in my pants. So that's why and then it was like, nah.
Yeah, a lot of J-Lay, he was 4 on my list, so I got him.
He up there for sure. What's going on? Won't Stop Dream Team. What's going on? Yeah, J-Lay says time Super Bowl champ. Yeah, times for sure. Time kicked us.
Yeah, that's fair.
For sure.
The other two won Super Bowls also, so that.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. My man, Born Sports is Carthen and Camilla. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Greg Camilla. Good one.
Yeah.
I forgot about Camilla.
Yeah, we got some. See, it's a variety in the chat. We all ages is in the chat right now, so you're gonna hit some things. And that's why I wanted to do this too, especially with you, Coach, because I know you got some history with you. All right. So let's start a fight in the chat a little bit. I'm gonna go to wide receivers, and when I did wide receivers, I did I did 3 wide receivers as my start. I got my 2 outside wide receivers, and I got my slot wide receiver.
Okay, right? You did kind of like me. Yeah.
I'm doing it like a starting lineup. I got 3 wide receivers, right? All right. So on the count of 3, Coach, on the count of 3, we're both going to say who we have first. All right. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, shoot like that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. The number 1 wide receiver you got on your list right now, right? Okay. 1, 2, 3, Toomer.
Amani Toomer.
There we go. Okay. There we go. We agree. Oh, we got a Burvis in here. Luann, you said you can hear us? Let me know if anybody else can't hear, so we know for sure. I only saw Luann that said she couldn't hear. So let me know anybody else. Let me know if you guys can't hear us. I'm assuming they do hear us because I'm seeing some of the names in the chat. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna start at the top of this list right now. So Paul said Burris. Give me 3 though. Give me 3, Paul. Give me 3. Ghost Dog said OBJ, Plaxico, and Victor Cruz. David said Odell, Nix, and Cruz. Paul said Toomer. That's my yeah. Cruz, Hicks, Cruz, Nix, Cruz. What is it? Hicks, Cruz? Are you talking? No, he got Nix here. He got Cruz, Nix here, and he also got Hicks. Are you talking about Dominic Hickson or something? Or did you is that just a? Go ahead and put it in the chat again so we know exactly what you're talking about. So that was number 1 is Toomer. I see my man TP Way already. He says Odell better be up here. And guess what? Odell is up there for me. He is up there for me. What about you, Coach? Let me know.
Nix is number 2. Odell is 3, and Ike Hilliard is 4 on my outside.
Ooh, okay. So my 3, I got Amani Toomer out of respect and love and what he did, absolutely, and the records that he holds. I do have Odell Beckham, and my slot receiver is absolutely Victor Cruz. That's why.
Slot is Victor Cruz, Sterling Shepard, and Steve Smith for me.
Steve Smith is another name. That was Eli's security blanket for a couple of seasons, for sure.
I love Stephen Baker. Yes, man. I got his autograph on one of my helmets. So
Stephen, I remember the rhyme. Stephen Baker, the touchdown.
The maker. Yep.
Nah, that's a fact. Okay, sound good. I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, audio's good. Thank you very much. Luann, get it together, Luann. You need to be hearing all this great content. Go ahead and reboot if you need to. My man, hold on. I didn't mean to click on that one. Paul also said Stephen Baker the touchdown make it. There you go. TP Wayne saying, let's go. This roster is valid so far. Chat, that's a fact. I'm glad, man. I'm glad. Okay, so next tight end. I picked two tight ends because the team without two tight ends, right? All right, so you're the guest. I'm gonna allow you to go first.
Are you real? You know who I'm going to go with first. You have to know that. Mark Bavaro.
I was going to ask you, does it rhyme with? But now, yeah, I got Mark Bavaro as number one for me too.
Who's number your second? 2 is Jeremy Shockey. I even got a third one, but I'll just stop at 2 for now.
We can stop at 2. You know what? I only did 2. I did the same thing. I did Bavaro. I did Shockey. That's exactly how I did it. And I see Born for Sports had Shockey tight end 1, Bavaro tight end 2. I actually think it doesn't even matter which way you do it. Yeah. Those guys are pretty much, copies of each other as far as toughness.
Jake Ballard. Yeah, Paul. Howard Cross is my third. I'm gonna give you that.
Shout out to Howard Cross. I like Howard Cross too. Bear Pascal made the list.
Yeah, we have some good tight ends throughout the years, man.
Yeah, I like Kevin Boss too. Kevin Boss even played a role. So it is what it is with that. So
who left for the Bears? He would have, if he had stayed. I think he could have pushed.
Bennett, right? Yeah, I was so mad at that 1 year. It was one and done. I was mad at that because Eli liked him, and he was getting it done.
Exactly. So
he was definitely getting it done. 1 year deal though. That was it. He was out of here. That's one thing about those Bennett. Even both of those brothers is crazy.
Yeah,
Martellus and Mike. Both of those guys. They wild, man. Those are two wild individuals. Okay.
Definitely.
All right, Coach. Now there's a particular unit on the offensive line that you have. That is your expertise. And we about to get into the offensive line. We're definitely about to get into the offensive line. Now, I will say this. I went back and forth on actually because I had 2 right guards that made my list. 2 right guards.
Okay.
Right? And then I was like, you know what, left guard, right guard, but I'm going to play it like they're possibly interchangeable when it comes to these guards. For the tackle, I did an absolute left tackle. Then same thing because I just picked 2 top tackles that I liked, right? And this is where that one legend comes in to play.
Oh, okay.
So left tackle, one of the left tackles. Well, I should just say one of the tackles that I have is the legend Roosevelt.
Yeah. I know you. I know you're talking about. Okay, that's fair.
Roosevelt Brown, right? So Rosie Brown, the nickname, right? Rosie Brown. So, and then I got Jumbo Elliott.
Okay, see, I have 3. I have Deal, Elliott, McKenzie.
See, I have Deal as because he played a lot of positions. I have Deal listed as a guard for me on my list. So who you said who are your 3?
Deal, Elliott is 2, and McKenzie is 3. I had to put my right tackle in there. I had to.
Yeah, McKenzie was on my first list, right? When I was going, when I was keeping the traditional left tackle, right tackle. It was Jumbo Elliott, and then it was Kareem McKenzie, because Kareem McKenzie, it was like King Kong on the right side of the line. And when I revised my list, I just said I'm gonna do 2 best tackles, 2 best guards, and stuff like that. So
okay, and I can understand that too. Yeah,
I had to switch it up a little bit. My man Born for Sports said point of attack, Jumbo left tackle. He said William Roberts left guard, Sneed right guard, Kareem McKenzie right tackle, Sean O'Hara as the center.
See, and I broke it down like that too. I did centers, guards, and then the tackles.
Sean O'Hara is second on my list of centers.
Yeah, he's second on my list too.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you. Who's your number 1 center?
Bart Oates.
I know it. That's why I had number 1 too, Bart Oates.
And most people don't even realize he was a champion before he even played for the Giants, because when he was in the USFL, played for the Philadelphia Stars and won championships over there in the USFL, which is why he came to the Giants, because they saw him play.
Now, shout out to Bart Oates, man. Just iconic center. The guy that did not allow Phil Simms to get touched. Didn't allow even Hostetler when Hostetler was there. Bart Oates played from what? We had 7 years at least, right?
He came in 85, right? And I think it was like 7, 8 years before he went to the 49ers.
Okay, so like 91, 92. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You know, he was there. But Bart Oates, Sean O'Hara was after that. And then now your guards. Who's your guards?
Chris Nee is number 1.
Me too.
William Roberts is number 2. And third, most people forget about him. Ron Stone, who was a Pro Bowler.
Yes, sir. And he played like 10 seasons for the Giants. Solidified
and
all
of them. Came over from those disgusting Cowboys, so we took him from the Cowboys too. So
yeah, I went with Snee. I went with David Deal, and then I had Stone on there first because Stone. Yeah, I had Stone first. I wanted it because Stone played right guard. I wanted Stone. You know, and when I was doing, I was like, Chris Snee played right guard too. I said I can't have 2 right guards on the list again. I was messing around with the list, but no. So. The rundown, right? Just a quick rundown of who we have right now, and I'm just going to do the starters, right? Eli Manning, quarterback. We got Tiki Barber as a running back. Fullback, you had I forget who you had. I had Henry Hynoski. You had Charles Wade. Who else?
And Carthon was number 1.
Carthon, okay. Wide receiver, we had Amani Toomer. I had Odell Beckham, Victor Cruz. You had who in Victor Cruz?
I had number 2 was Hakeem Nicks.
Hakeem Nicks, and then you had Victor Cruz as a slap. Yeah. Hakeem Nicks, excuse me. Hakeem Nicks was nice. Like it was. I remember when we drafted him, like a wide receiver out of North Carolina, and the one thing I remember, he was like the original guy that couldn't fit the gloves. His yards after the catch, his toughness, the Hail Mary. I remember that catch. It was the spin move in the Green Bay Packer game. Yeah. Dave
Riesenberg was my 4th tackle because I just said because I was picking tackles and I said Riesenberg and I was like, yeah, if he played left tackle, then he went to right tackle, and I said, and with the linemen, because I love linemen, I was like, man, I got too many linemen. Let me just cut it down to 3 in each section for the most part. So
Knicks. I was so happy to get Knicks, and it's crazy because like Eli had some receivers, man, throughout his career. When you think about it, it was some guys he had, man, and So just looking at that now, and then we looking at Neighbors now. Neighbors can be one of those guys, and maybe Darius Slayton is that number 2 that everybody's been looking for, but overlooking him too. So we'll see what happens. My man DeMarco says a lot of the names are before my time, but I love the knowledge. Now that's a fact, man.
That's fair.
All right. So that closes it for the offense. Right? You got any thoughts before we go to the defense?
No, I mean we're pretty almost aligned with pretty much everybody that we're thinking about. So and just for the record, I mean there's a age difference between me and Dash. So. This lets you guys know that, the Giants, the history of the Giants, at least from, I'll say from the 79 or 80s down, you see the quality of the players that have been here and the foundational part, of this organization, with the run game and the offensive line and how you control the narrative and allow the playmakers to go out there and produce. So
that's a fact. That's a fact. Look at the chat's already jumping ahead. You see this?
Yeah, I know that.
Paul is on it. Paul is on it. But that's what I wanted though. I wanted everybody to get involved, to feel like they was involved in this conversation. That's what we're doing. So I'm just going to get this guy out of the way. We're going to start defense. And you can't say nothing about New York Giants defense history without saying this guy who is the best football player ever when it comes to the NFL. Outside linebacker, I have Lawrence Taylor. And I do have 2 outside linebackers. I did 1 middle linebacker. I did it like a 4-3. I did this like it was a 4-3 defense. So, but we can name some people though. We can definitely name some people. So I got my first outside linebacker is Lawrence Taylor, and I already know, you already know, it Who's the opposite side outside linebacker for you?
First of all, just so you know, I didn't do it as a 4-3.
That's fine. That's fine.
I did it as a 3-4 because when in the 80s, the Giants were actually a 3-4 defense.
Absolutely.
So the two outside linebackers played together, and it was LT and Banks. They right there as far as your starting outside linebackers.
Yeah,
that's who I have. So it's not even a question. So, and I went with 4 though. So.
Okay, so like I said, I went with the 2. I went with Lawrence Taylor. I went with Carl Banks. Mm-hmm. For those that know me, Carl Banks is my favorite New York Giant, the first Giant I ever met. Like I told the story, fourth grade field trip to Giant Stadium. Mm-hmm. First guy I met was Carl Banks in the locker room. It was fantastic. We walked on the field and all that, man. 4th grade. Shout out to Franklin Elementary School in Union, New Jersey for that. For sure. Okay. Now, you see LT. Dave, man. Dave, get out my notebook, Dave. Get out my notebook.
Yeah, see.
Get out my notebook.
LT right. And Banks, and just for the record, I did Armstead.
Okay.
And Brad Van Pelt as the other one.
Not mad at all. Not mad. I can't be mad at all. Mm-mm. Love it. Mm-mm. Love it. Yeah. So just so we know, we got LT at outside linebacker, Carl Banks. The others outside linebacker, backing those guys up. We have Van Pelt, and we got Jesse Armstead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he back. I think when linebackers used to wear the 90s numbers, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
I remember it was the middle linebacker from the Steelers. He wore like number 99.
What's his name? And he was a behemoth. He was damn near 300 pounds. I forgot his name too.
I think it was Kirkland, not Kirkland. It was something like that. But number 99 with the black visor. I just remember he was like a defensive tackle playing linebacker. But he reminded them linebackers that wear the 90 numbers. But shout out to
Jack Lambert was a middle linebacker, and he wore number 58.
Yeah.
And you talking 70s? I know them Steelers. Yeah. Kevin Green was number 91. So for y'all that don't know, Steelers are my second team. So
Steelers ran the 70s. They ran it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I'm assuming you did 2 middle linebackers. I only did 1. You did a 3.
I just like the outside. I did 4, but the starters are Carson and Pepper, and then I have Antonio Pierce and Gary Reasons.
I'm not gonna argue with that. Antonio Pierce was close to making my list. I had to give it to Carson.
Yeah,
just because I had to give it to Carson. That's a Giants legend. And then you said Gary Reasons. I'm not gonna argue with that at all either.
That stands out with that that Denver game up there in Denver in the snow at the goal line where he met the running back right at the face. LeVar Kirkland. They put it in.
And Pepper, another linebacker.
Yes. Remember the Super Bowl dancing on the what you would call after the Super Bowl.
No neck hat, Pepper.
Yes.
All right. Let me get some of these comments. So we saw Dave. Dave said LT Carson Banks. That's exactly what I had.
Mm-hmm.
Banks.
Everybody would always have that.
Man, Ghost Dog said Pierce is definitely up there. Dave also said Pepper Johnson. Paul said Banks, Carson, Pierce, and Johnson. I'm somebody said if anybody says you was wrong, I'll slap him to sleep. God bless you guys. And my last name is Taylor. You already know what it is. The best player in NFL history, Lawrence Taylor. And some people say the best defensive player of stop playing with me. Lawrence Taylor. I might be a little bit biased though. Born for Sports says if it's a 4-3 straight hand tuck at defensive end, Leonard Marshall and Dexter Lawrence at defensive tackle. Okay, that's a segue. Let's talk defensive end.
And here was a little tricky for me because of the 4-3 and how they ran it for a while. Because I did 2 nose tackles. I did 3 techs, what I call 3 techs, and then I did 4 5 techs or ends.
Okay.
So that's how I did 4. You have 4 or 5 techs or ends, however you want to break it down. And that's the only reason why I put those guys in there, because like I said, foundationally we're 3-4. So and nose tackle is only 2 for me. Of course, number 1 is playing right now. He's the best D, whatever you want, 1 tech, 0 tech, however you want to categorize him, Dexter Lawrence.
Just call him a nose.
Number two, put out Joe Montana in a playoff game in the Meadowlands.
Okay.
Number 64, Jim Burt.
Listen, I hear you. Now.
Go ahead.
Nah. So for the defensive tackle, I don't care that he's young and still on the team right now. If I'm building the defense, go ahead and give me Dexter Lawrence. Go ahead and give me Dexter Lawrence. The other guy that I have is a guy that played during the down times of the New York Giants, but he was here for a long time. Defensive tackle Keith Hamilton.
I'm gonna get there too. I'm gonna get there to you for you.
I went with Dex and I went with Keith Hamilton. So let me know the rest of the guys you got on your list.
Okay, now I went to the 3 techs or the tackles.
Okay,
and it's kind of where the guys who played in the 80s come into play. I put Leonard Marshall and George Martin there, along with Keith Hamilton and Leonard Williams.
George Martin is on my list as well. He is on my list for defensive tackle. I got Leonard Marshall as
the end.
As an end.
I know most people do that, yes. Technically, George Martin was an end too in that defense.
Yes.
So it's just that they were inside because you had Banks and you had LT on the outside.
So we'll just say D-line. We'll just say D-line.
No, I know. I get it.
And not just for the people. We'll just say D-line.
Yeah. D-line. Interior defensive line. How about that?
There you go. I got I got Michael Strahan, of course, as a DN.
There.
I got and I'm just trying to see because I got some runner-ups here, but obviously, like I said, for me, my top 2, Leonard Marshall and Strahan. That's my top 2.
I can understand that, and I did Strahan, OC, JPP, and Justin Tuck.
But I also had Jim Burt and George Martin on there as well.
And Eric Howard was a runner-up for me too. So I do understand him being there because he was a beast in the middle. I just kept it too because O-line and D-line were just, man, it's just so many when you sit there and you think about it. So
yeah. Now I will say this though, like I said, I cheated a little bit too. Again, it's my show. I can cheat if I want to.
Yeah.
But no, definitely on the list too. I got Tuck. I love OC. I got Tuck just above OC, even though OC's numbers were better than Tuck's. But also, if I'm building a team right now for this generation, JPP is on my roster. Just because he was a freak, athletic freak. JPP is definitely on my list as well. But again, that was me cheating, adding some extra names on, which I'm glad I did because you went almost 4 players deep. On your list. Okay.
And don't remember too. One of the reasons why they were so good because you could rotate them. You could rotate those edge guys. So it was just like
absolutely. All right. So let me see what other people are saying too. Patrick says Burt, Howard, Lawrence. And Dave says Strahan, Tuck, Dex, and Marshall. Paul says Strahan, number 2, the best defensive player in Giants history, no contest. Paul said the Hammer, Keith Hamilton. That's a fact. Born Sports says that the Hammer was underrated. That's a fact. He played a long time for the Giants too. He played him and Strahan played together for a long time.
Strahan and Armstead were together too.
Yep. Shout out to my man Wells in the building. Wells is in the building. He says salute Dad, salute Coach. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to my man Wells to NJ. I know there's the UFC tonight. There's boxing on tonight. Wells took some time out to come show some love with us. I'm not sure if you're doing anything live tonight, but Wells usually, if it's contact sports, Wells gonna let you know what the deal is. So shout out to my man Wells that's in the building showing some love and support. My man Dave said, Roosevelt Brown, Big Dash said first tackle. Yeah, It is. It is. Shout out to my man Big Moo, man, letting you guys know, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. Not just for me though. Not just for me. You see the guys standing next to me, sitting next to me, or next to me, Coach Ed. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to my man Coach Ed as well, man. Astro James says OC and Tuck. Hollywood says free Dave, make it out of the jam, free him until we see him. Hey, listen, we're gonna keep it on the field.
Yeah, gotta keep it there.
And then Born for Sports says love Jesse Armstead. Dave also said Armstead best fifth round. He was a fifth rounder, huh? Wow.
Was he fifth? I thought he was a sixth rounder. He might have been a fifth.
Still,
he was a late round draft pick. He was a late round.
He was definitely a day 3 guy. Oh no, day 2 guy back then. It was only 2 days back then. All right, so this is where it got a little bit crazy for me when it came to the cornerbacks, right? Because again, I'm thinking about all-time Giants, but then I'm thinking about building my ultimate team when it comes to these cornerbacks, right? So initially, the 2 cornerbacks that I had, just thinking about New York and all time, Jason Sehorn was on my list. And for me, another guy that I liked growing up was Felipe Sparks. I liked Felipe.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's, and then I thought about, okay, who would I want on the team right now as far as talent for the New York Giants? And then I thought about Corey Webster, right? Corey Webster. And then surprisingly, I really liked, especially his time while he was here, I really liked Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. I like DRC.
Okay.
I like DRCs. Let me know what you think about with the cornerbacks.
Well, I went with 5 because
Mark Collins, my bad, Bones. Mark Collins was also on my short list. Sure.
See, and if Mark Collins is 1 for me, Sehorn is 2, Sparks is 3, Webster is 4, and Jack Rabbit Jenkins is 5 for me. Okay, and I know DRC, that you can argue about DRC, either one. So, and I went 5 because of the nickel type of situation. That's why I did that.
Okay. Nah. And like I said, when I had maybe 6 names written down. I had like 6 names written down. I even looked at Will Allen for a little bit. Just thinking about some guys that played for us. Aaron Ross didn't make my list, even though Aaron Ross was part of the Super Bowl teams. I had Corey Webster because Corey Webster had one of the most important plays on the in the NFC Championship when he intercepted Brett Favre. But yeah, so that's why I'm at with it. I'm waiting to see what other people say. So Dave says Sehorn was great. My man Born for Sports says Felipe is a good name. I liked him too. Patrick Grove says Corey Webster, Mark Collins. Let's see. Corinne says Sehorn, Webster. TP Way says DRC and Janoris Jenkins. Yeah, that's when we had, it was the no-fly zone, man. It was it's NYPD, New York pass defense. I remember that. That defense got us to the playoffs in 17 for sure. We was beating teams 9-10, 11-7 in 17. Oh boy, we got Kashifo here trolling. He says DeAndre Baker getting no respect. Nah, that's a fact. That's funny.
He's playing in DC.
What's crazy?
What's up?
Like he was, if I'm not mistaken, he was also a guy that was a press corner, and then we forced him to play zone. And he liked to gamble and and did some things outside that ultimately cost him his career. But he did, I believe he did win a Super Bowl before he left. He did win a Super Bowl with the Chiefs. I think he was on that Chiefs roster.
I think he was on that Chiefs roster too. Born for Sports, Everson Walls. He had a good stint, but for me, he's always a Cowboy. Sorry. He just is. And yes, he won. He was there wide right with us, but he's a Cowboy. After he left us, where did he go? Back down to Dallas, part of the Dallas organization. So he's a Cowboy.
Oh man, Hollywood Kai said Jason Sehorn, I just wish he could have been reborn after his injury. Now, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Exactly. And then, what's crazy, when I lived in California, my neighbor was a Giants fan because of Jason Sehorn, because I didn't know Sehorn was from Northern California. And he made a lot of people in Northern California. Now, I'm not talking about the Bay Area, because I think he's from like Humboldt County or something like that.
Further north, almost pushing on towards Oregon.
Yeah, it was a lot of Giants fans just because of Jason Sehorn in Northern California. Now, again, the rivalries we had with the Bay with San Francisco. It is what it is. So I was surprised and they only knew I was a Giants fan because I had the Giants on my license plate. So they was like, "Oh, you a Giants fan?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a Giants fan." So, "Oh, me too." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." My man D Illa in the building. What's going on, D Illa? Says, "What up, Dash from Coach?" Shout out to D Illa, another fantastic Giants content creator. I like D Illa too, because D Illa, he'd be like, "You know what? I'm just gonna hop in my car. I'm gonna put this video out. I'm gonna just say what's on my mind." And D Illa is unfiltered, and he'll let you know exactly what's on his mind. And shout out to D Illa too, because he'll be like, "Dash, you know what? We agree on a lot of things, but I don't agree with this." And he'll tell, and this is why. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, "You know what, D Illa? I can't even argue with you. You're making all the points. Let's just agree to disagree." Shout out to D Illa. We do agree more than we disagree, but shout out to D Illa. He keeps it real. Again, unfiltered. If you like real New York Giants content, guy that gives you straight up the cuff, that's my man D Illa. So make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to D Illa. Shout out to my man. Born for Sports says Fossil worst mistake was putting Sehorn on kickoffs. Yeah.
It was hard though, because at SC though he played specials and he was dynamic. So I did understand when he did it. So, but yeah, I get it though.
Fossil wanted to win games too, man.
Yeah.
Fossil was like, "You know what?" Especially that one year, he said, "We're going to this team is a playoff team. I guarantee we're going to the playoffs." I guess we went to the playoffs. Sure did. We didn't do it. Yeah, he did it. And I should say he wrote a check, but actually the check cashed.
We got to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. We didn't win, but we definitely got there. All right, so we're gonna move to safety, to both safeties, I should say. And for me, and it could be just because I'm an Alabama fan. One of the most versatile safeties. I was sick when we couldn't re-sign him. Xavier McKinney is one of the safeties on my list, and I know there's been a lot of good safeties for the New York Giants, but just off of talent and what he could have been, and he's most likely going to be an all-pro safety this year coming up. Shout out to him. And it's a little bit easier because he went to Green Bay. He didn't go to a real rival, but he did go to the NFC. But Xavier's X-Man is one of the safeties on my list. Born for Sports. Stay out of my notebook. Born for Sports. So, Coach Ed, who's one of your safeties?
The first one is Terry Kennard.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Now, why?
Because in that era, he could play deep. He could play too high. He could play single high, sideline to sideline. He can cover. He can come down into the box. He played a run, and he was a force. He can make a play in the run game. All of our DBs back then could come down and be physical in the run game. So, and you had to when you played for Bill Parcells. You had to. So Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Let me give the best DC we've ever had the proper respect. So, but yeah, Terry Kennard was one of them players. He was one of them boys.
Yeah, and he is on my list. He is on my list, and it's funny too because Patrick Grove is absolutely in my notebook. He said Roll, Antrell Roll, McKinney, Kennard, and Tunnel. Tunnel was one of those black and white.
I didn't. Old school. Emlyn Tunnell. I could, like I said, before my time. If I included him, he'd probably be number one.
So we talking no face mask.
Yeah, he led the league in interceptions for the longest while. First minority in the Hall of Fame too. So first minority drafted by the Giants too. So it's like,
Yep.
So, but I got Kennard, Antrell Roll, McKinney, Landon Collins, and Myron Guyton.
I like it. My man Dealer said, impossible for all of us to be on the same page. Appreciate it. Now, listen, man. I wanted to have fun because when it comes to this season right now and this roster right now, we got arguments and debates all around. I thought this one was going to be fun. Everybody can enjoy it, and I think it worked. I think we're having a good time in here talking about these Giants.
Jabril Wilson and Sean Williams was definitely.
Sean Williams was also I wrote them down, but I had Landon Collins too on my list. Not as a starter. My starters was Antrell Roll and Xavier McKinney. I did put Collins there. I had Kennard there too. That's what I had for sure.
You know that Sean Williams also is the head coach at Willie P.
Yeah, I saw that.
One of my former players, his son was the starting center for him for a couple of years. So it was just like, oh, okay.
How long has he been there though?
5-6 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Cool. Yeah, William Patterson, man. Woof. Okay. What's that? Orange and black. William Patterson, right?
Orange and black. The Pioneers. I hate that damn team.
Shout out to my friend's brothers. Both of his brothers. He had twin brothers. They played for William Patterson in like the what was that, from like 97 to 2000. Point to your brothers.
Okay.
Yours, yeah. But yeah. Nah, shout out to them. But William Patterson. Yeah.
I've coached minor league summer. I've coached a lot of guys who played at William Patterson. They always tease me. Like, yeah, coach, you play the King, right? Okay. yeah.
Shout out to King too. That's in Union. So I'm all for King.
Cougar Pride. So
there you go. My man Dave said nice, Kennard, smooth as silk. Astro said Kenny Phillips and Deion Grant. Those are Super Bowl guys right there. Corinne said Roland Collins. Dealer said Sean Williams and Jabril Wilson. I forgot about Jabril Wilson.
Yeah.
Actually, forget about it. I didn't write them down, but Jabril Wilson, yeah. He said would knock the crap out of the opposing wide receivers catching the ball over the middle. Yeah, listen, one thing about the safeties that we had, safeties was hitting, man.
Yeah.
I don't think any of our safeties shied away from any kind of physicality. It's just out. Well, when I really think about it, even our cornerbacks, they weren't really shying away from contact either. They're just thinking about some of these players, man.
Look, I remember a game Mark Collins was playing cornerback, came in on a run play, took on an offensive guard and put the offensive guard on his butt and made the tackle. That's what I was just like, you got a defensive back putting a big offensive lineman on his butt? Come on, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm here for that, man. And guy, they wouldn't just, go for the legs. They was coming out there to hit. And like I said, even for me, even with DRC was a finesse type of cornerback, but he was still going in and trying to make them tackles too. Janoris Jenkins.
Yeah, he didn't want to get dirty. All right? We know that.
You know who would have been good? Terrell Thomas would have been good if not for the bad knees, man.
True. Good point.
Terrell Thomas, we got him in the second round too out of USC. Terrell Thomas would have been nice, but his knees just failed him. So that's
your list.
That's my list. That's our list.
You still forgot one group.
Who'd I forget?
How can you have an all-time list without a GM and a head coach?
Oh man, come on now. Come on now.
Yeah. That's me. I just wanted to be different, though. I know everybody else would never think like that. So
I wasn't thinking about it because was understood that it had to be said. So who's your head coach?
Well, no, I'm gonna go GM first.
Okay, who's your GM?
George Young, and they're
because he fixed the Giants.
He came from the Colts and fixed the Giants, man. Let's be real.
He came in like Tim the Two-Man Taylor and fixed the Giants, right?
Yes. And here's the biggest thing. He didn't panic and fire Bill Parcells after his first year, because Bill Parcells went, was it 3-12 or something like that first year, and everybody was saying fire him, and he said no, and he turned it around, and there you go. And my head coach is Parcells, Coughlin, God rest his soul, Fossil.
Now Jim, I like Fossil. Yeah, Jim Fossil.
If you ever know it's my list, everything was contingent upon Super Bowls, for the most part.
Listen, I believe the Super Bowl's way heavy as well. Because even when shout out to my man Sneaky G, even when Sneaky G did his list of all-time Giants, top 20 all-time Giants, for me, a lot of it had to do with winning the Super Bowls, and that's one of the reasons why I had Victor Cruz over Odell Beckham. And then TP Wade was going crazy. Shout out to my man. He was not letting that Odell Beckham argument go at all.
Reese.
Dave says Reese. You know what's crazy about Reese, man? Reese was not as bad as people said he was. He wasn't as bad as people said he was. They never give him credit for. They didn't give him credit for none of the Super Bowls. They keep telling you, "Oh, that was the course."
You know what hurts me the most? For some reason, he stayed away from the sexy offensive lineman.
Well, he just was bad at it.
Yes, he
was bad at it. Let's be honest.
And that's why I can't give him. He took us to Super Bowls. He won Super Bowls. I have to respect that. But part of what getting them there is you gotta have the trenches. You gotta do well there.
I'll say that he was good on the defensive side when it came to the trenches.
Yes.
He could find a defensive tackle and some defensive ends. That was Reese for sure. But offensive line,
no.
Just some of the names with James Brewer. I remember James. He was supposed to be athletic. It was another guy we got from Auburn. It was crazy. We ran through a lot of. And everybody keeps saying we weren't addressing the offensive line. No, we were addressing the offensive line. We just were bad.
We were bad at picking it. You're right. We were bad at picking it. So with Jerry Reese. So that's why for me, you know me. I'm big on the trenches, especially offensive linemen, because they control your whole team. To be honest with you. People can always say the quarterback is the most important position in today's day and age, but you can't do anything. No quarterback can't do anything without an offensive line. I don't care how great you are. You can't. You can't do the running game. You can't pass. Your offensive line helps your defense because you can control the narrative and let them get rest.
Yep. Complimentary football at the end of the day.
Yes,
and then, like you said,
you're talking to an old coach. You're talking to an old coach, so
man, that's football 101. That never changed. Being able to stop the run and run the ball. That's how it starts. Successful, no matter how you got quarterbacks throwing for 5,000 yards, but at the end of the day, if you can't stop the run or run the ball, you're not winning the Super Bowl.
No, you can't.
I mean, lightning in the bottle. Maybe a couple teams might be able to do it, but when it comes down to it, even this year. Being able to run the ball. Why did Philly win the championship?
Mm-hmm.
They can run the ball. Whether it was Hurts, whether it was Barkley, they can run the ball.
I had a great discussion with my brother, who's an Eagles fan. But I said, and I told him, I said, you guys showed what most Giants fans wanted to see out of Saquon. You had to put an offensive line in front of him for him to be productive, because when you're trying to avoid a defensive line in the backfield, you can't get going. You just can't. So. And that's why an offensive line is paramount. And you have to respect Philly. They have a great offensive line. They have a great scheme. And he's literally not getting touched until second, sometimes third level. That's up front.
Hey, Jay Ferris, I'm trying to follow. Jay Ferris said Bo is going to be an all-star. Somebody said that about I like Joe Shane. Like Joe Shane has ever drafted O-line, dude. Who you talking about? We arguing about offensive line. You see what happens. As soon as you start talking about the O-line, it gets crazy. It gets crazy.
Jay Ferris, first of all, you're talking to an old defensive lineman from college, a guy who played offensive line in minor league, semi-pro, coached it for so many years, been offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach, and I'm telling you from experience, I've gone through so many college coaching clinics, at Rutgers, at Penn State, at Alabama, Texas, and they always speak the same thing: trenches. You can't.
I think I got what Jay Ferris is doing. Jay Ferris is not. I don't believe is anything that we had to say. He's saying, because we talked about how bad Jerry Reese was drafting offensive linemen. He's also saying that Joe Shane can't draft offensive linemen either. So that's what he's saying.
Okay, that's fair.
That's what he's saying. I think that's what he's saying. Jay Ferris, let me know if I got you right now. And I think Jay Ferris be on it. He lets you know if he don't like something. My man Patrick Rose says Scatterbo brings back the violent physicality. I do agree with that. And my man Born for Sports says point of attack always wins, gentlemen. Nah, absolutely. The trenches matter. So, and we're gonna talk about some other things too, Coach.
No problem.
But to wrap up this ultimate team, right? This ultimate team. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about it?
I love your list. Is nothing but great respect. I mean, to me, you can win a championship with what you built. You really can. So. So it's a beautiful thing, man. You did a great job. You did
a great job too, man. And you brought a couple of players to my attention too that I didn't have listed. that I might go ahead and research, do a little bit more research on. So since I have you in the building, Coach, since I got you in the building, now hold on, let me get to this $5 super chat from my man.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Shout out to my man Jay First. He said, massive respect for Coach Ed and New York Giant legend. This man has incredible knowledge and is a true fan. Follow him and learn. So yeah, I knew. He wasn't arguing with us. He was saying, he was talking about, don't talk about Reese if you ain't gonna talk about Joe Schoen too.
Joe Schoen is, I mean, he's
right
still.
Now,
go ahead, man.
Right now, when you think about who Joe Schoen has drafted for the offensive line, his very first offensive lineman was Evan Neal. After that, it was Joshua Ezeudu. After that, it was Marcus McKeithen. Then after that, it was John Michael Schmitz. And then after that, it was Marcus Bowe. So out of all those names, and I don't think I missed anybody as far as who he actually spent draft capital on.
What's his name from? Did he draft? What's his name from Oregon?
Not Cooper. Who came from Oregon? He was UDFA. He was UDFA. UDFA. And Kubis was also UDFA. But Marcus Bowe is the only one we have not seen yet. Evan Neal, we already feel how we feel about Evan Neal. Marcus McKeithen, no longer a Giant. Joshua Ezeudu, who I loved his feet coming out of college. Did not, I don't think he makes it 53 this year. We'll see what happens. JMS, tightrope for him right now. I got a short leash on him, and that's my son. That's my son, and like I said, I got a suitcase packed at the door waiting for him if he don't show up.
You know what's so funny, Dash?
What's up?
Everyone you talked about, most people in the Giants fan base was on board with every last one of them coming out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yo, when we got Evan Neal, what? We thought we had bookend tackles.
So the question always, which I always state, is it really the talent or is it the development?
It's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
It's a little bit of both for sure.
Okay, that's fair.
But as far as Marcus Bowe goes, I like him too coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like is the way they're talking about him. Like I understand everybody said, you want your offensive lineman to be versatile. Is versatility is something that's very valuable. But for me, let him learn a position first before you start switching them around. Because I get Joshua Ezeudu vibes. Now I do believe that he's just all around better than Joshua Ezeudu coming out of college. But if we're talking about him playing tackle and playing guard and playing center and all the other stuff, can he play one spot first?
That's fair. That's a valid argument. Yeah, master one position first before you can go play anything else, But now the other thing is you want to see how this player is, if he's capable of handling the positions. Because now look, I've never played in the NFL, but minor league semi-pro, I played in the game and I played all 5 positions in a game. And to me, it's easy just to transition from left to right in terms of your stance. The techniques are pretty much the same, in terms of your kickback on the outside and on the inside, what you're supposed to do, So, but that's me. So I always look at, a player's mindset. Is he capable? But yes, to start off, give him one position, let him learn that position, get comfortable with it, and then you want to add to it. So now if you want to, like, to your point, if you want to say this year, let him play tackle and only tackle, fine. Then next year you want to add on the guard spot, that's fine. During the course of the season, you want to, a little bit of, one-on-ones, with your O-line coach just to keep it fresh, but don't go into practice or a game playing it. That's fine. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, because so for me, we got another off season where Andrew Thomas is not 100%, and then as soon as training camp goes, it's going to either be James Hudson at left tackle, or whatever. That's unless there's some miraculous thing that happens and he's ready to go. But when we saw the interview with Andrew Thomas, he said his goal is to be ready week 1. So that, to me, that means right now we probably won't see him. He probably starts this week off in the red jersey. Let me get to another super chat from my man Jay First.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
He says, guys, support Big Dash, buy a hat, drop a super chat. This guy puts in massive hours and tireless work. Nobody grinds like him. Show him that respect. Now, I appreciate the love and support, Jay Ferris, as always, man. It's a lot of guys that put in a lot of work too, man. I want those guys to get their flowers too. And one of those guys is my man, Coach Ed, every day, putting in that work. Not just football. And shout out to the Aboriginal Sports Network too. My guys over there, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to that channel as well. My man Dealer says, yeah, everyone was pretty happy with the O-line selections. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when it happened. Now that's a fact. When it happened, absolutely. My man Patrick Grove says Bo was a swing talent or tackle and talent, he says. And yeah, I think he ends up being that role this year as a swing tackle. Him and James Hudson. We paid James Hudson. He was the only one that got like guaranteed money. So I think he makes the squad. But is like, and my question is this, right? When it comes to James Hudson, if you knew right now, if the coaches knew right now that Andrew Thomas was not going to be ready for week 1, are you going with James Hudson as your left tackle, or are you moving Illuminor? I'm gonna ask you that, Coach. What do you think?
I'm putting my best 5 out there first. That's the first thing I have to look at. Is who are my best 5. Yep. Now it's Hudson brought here because we talked about he's a swing tackle, so that means that if Thomas is down, then if he's the number 2, then you bring him in. But now if you're telling me Illuminor is your number 2, then you always make that argument. Now you got 2 guys switching positions or working in new positions. So, and you're right in that regard. So it's just a matter of, is Hudson capable of handling both left and right tackles and filling in? But is he really the swing tackle? Because if he is the swing tackle, then Illuminor should stay at right and he should come in at the left tackle. Yeah, so I get it. I understand. But if Illuminor is your second best left tackle, then it's a problem. Then why did you sign Hudson?
And that's my point. That's the point I'm trying to make. So if that happens, we'll know for sure how they feel about these guys. Like for me, right now, if I knew right now that Andrew Thomas wasn't going to be ready, I believe that Jermaine Illuminor is the best left tackle outside of Andrew Thomas on this squad, and that's crazy, and it shouldn't be like that.
No.
And as a GM who's going into your 4th season, you should have had a backup left tackle here already, whether it was through the draft, free agency, and one that you're confident in that you don't have to play musical chairs. Now, I understand that people go down. That's just football. I don't like when somebody goes down and then you're shuffling everybody, because then it becomes something different. Not only do you not have your left tackle, if you move Jermaine Illuminor, now you're trying to replace your right tackle as well instead of just.
And your guards have to get used to them, and both guards now are, instead of one guard adjusting to a new tackle, both are adjusting to. So yeah, you're right. Again, I get what you're saying. Yeah. So it's a tough situation. I mean, I've been on both sides of the ball, man. It's. You move one guy over, but if you have veteran guys who can handle it and they can pick it up and they're comfortable, then you go with it. But, if Illuminor is your second best left tackle, then what is that saying overall about Hudson? So, and that's how you can make the argument. Is he the 3rd best tackle? So, but then again, that's the blind side for whoever's going to be a quarterback. So now it's like, you want to risk hurting I won't say hurting your quarterback, but putting your quarterback in conflict because he's always going to get pressure, possibly get hit, get gun shy. So it's a tough situation. They haven't done a good job. Let me just say this. I want to see, once we put on pads and once we get to the preseason game, because they could be coached up and everything could be fine. And it could just be the preseason and, you're just getting through the preseason and Thomas is there for the first game, and then it's back to normal. So
they ain't got to worry about it, right?
Yeah. So it's a lot of things right now. We just want to put it in the back of the head, but let's just get through preseason first and see what happens.
I want to get to this quick comment from Lori. Lori says Neal has center block feet, and then my man Jay First says Neal can plow the run game. Let's see what we got this year. Now, again, Coach, we said it 2 seasons ago. When are we moving Neal to guard? Yeah. There's been a discussion for a while. I know, like I said, I know you're high on Neal, and you still got some faith in Neal as well. I'm happy that we're finally moving him to guard, and I can't wait to see what happens with when the pads come on and when we get into preseason. My question is this now. By all means, we believe that Jon Runyan is going to be the left guard still, right? Starting left guard. Right guard, right now, you could say it's Van Roten. A lot of people say it might be Kubas. Some people might say Evan Neal might have a shot there too. Where do you see Evan Neal's best chance of playing? Left side, right side? Do you move Runyan back to the right side? What do you think when it comes to this Neal discussion?
Right now, it's kind of hard because I do understand putting him at the left side. I do, especially if you want to say you want to start him next to Andrew Thomas, but Andrew Thomas is not. I'm sorry, he's just not consistent. So I can't put him there. I'm probably going to be more apt to put him at right guard and let him work there and try and settle in there. Don't let him think about any other position and then go from there. You know, and you take it. But now, right now, who's the backup left guard? Is it Stinney?
In my opinion, got to be because right now, yeah. Because if you put if Van Roten is your starting right guard, you're gonna have Stinney, and I believe they have a lot of faith in Jake Kubas.
Mm-hmm.
I think they want to see where that goes. I don't think Ezeudu makes it. I don't see him making the 53. I do think they like Kubas more than you have Marcus Bow, which they want to put him anywhere and everywhere possible to see where he fits. Shout out to my man DL. He said he's going to pick up one of these Make the Giant Great Again hats. Make sure you do that. That's in the shop. Go ahead and get one of those, man. I would love for somebody to wear that training camp. If we can get one of these hats to Joe Shane, I would love it, man. I would love it. The Giant Chopper says, I think the Giants should extend Jermaine Illuminor. Honestly, the versatility and stability he brings is something the Giants need to retain, especially at offensive line. I did a video with three players that I would extend prior to the season. Jermaine Illuminor is one of those guys. Micah McFadden was only two guys. There was only two guys that I would extend prior to the season started. It's Micah McFadden and it was Jermaine Illuminor. Because I think that if Jermaine Illuminor plays well, he's probably going to ask for more money at the end of the season. Micah McFadden, I just like Micah McFadden, homegrown. He gets better every year. Is he an all-star? Not yet, but we'll see what happens. He's always in the right place, but he doesn't always finish. So hopefully he's, continuing to get better. But I would also, if I'm going to extend somebody, it would be him as well. And I'm just trying to think, anybody else coming up? I know it's a contract year for Wan'Dale, but I want to wait and see how he gets used. Cordell Flott is another guy on the contract year. I want to wait to see, what he does. That actually is that whole draft class, the whole 2020 draft class, 2022 draft class is in contract years, except for Thibodeau, because we picked up the 5th-year option. That'd be something that we can keep an eye on during the season. Who could possibly get extended before the season ends? Because if they were going to do Jermaine Illuminor, I think they would have did that already. All right, my man. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just going to read a comment, but go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was just going to agree with you. That's why I say go ahead.
Okay. Dave says, seems shown just keeps putting Band-Aids on large gaping holes. So, yeah, Band-Aids over bullet holes is what we say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Marcus Bow, like if you watch Marcus Bow, you get a chance to watch Marcus Bow, Coach?
Big Ten, you know I have, yeah. So
yeah. So like I said, for me, I like his toughness. He got a little mean streak to him, and he got good feet.
And he finishes, guys.
Yeah, he got that mean streak that we've been missing with this offensive line, and I think people will see that soon. A lot of the times when it comes to college football and college offensive linemen, if you're not really watching the offensive line, you really don't get a good idea of what these guys are doing on playing and play out. And he's the type of guy, like you said, he finishes past the whistle sometimes.
Well, see, most people, honestly, because he played at Purdue, so it becomes an afterthought. It's not Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, where you would give them a little bit more recognition. You say Purdue. Well, Purdue sometimes, first of all, they play in a tough conference where it's one in the trenches, and he's going up against some top talent, playing against the Ohio States, the Penn States, the Michigan, those defensive linemen there. So
it's a good conference to get your offensive linemen from, for sure.
Yeah. So
yeah, they're going to be coached well. Yeah. My man, Giant Topic says Kubas and Neal would be right guard too. Okay. So you got Van Roten. I'm assuming you got Van Roten as your right guard, number one. And again, when it comes to Van Roten is one of those solid older veterans that you can just plug in there and you feel confident with him. Now, obviously, he's not irreplaceable, but for right now, I would be comfortable with Van Roten being the right guard right now. And I think that also helps John Michael Schmitz, because for me, that's my biggest question mark when it comes to the offensive line is the center spot, and that's unfortunate too, because I just looking at, he was consistent at Minnesota. You know, his name was never called. Usually when you're offensive lineman, your name's not being called, that means you're doing your job. You know, he didn't have the quickest feet, but he was quick enough to get to the second level. I thought, you know, his strength wasn't like, he wasn't a pulling center like a Feliciano or something like that, but he was still good enough to get to the second level, you know, but again, it has not worked out for him. He did deal with some injuries, the neck, the shoulder. And when you're a center, we're talking neck and shoulders. It might be the most important thing to the center outside of his hand. You know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to Trisha K with the "What's up, Big Dash?" What's going on, Trisha? Dealer says this organization's Achilles heel is drafting offensive line depth, and they have issues bringing interior talent on the D line. Teams hit constantly on late round interior D linemen, but this team can't do it. I thought, speaking of like later round tackles, I was high on Jordan Riley, because I thought he was putting in a lot of work, and I thought he was going to be able to take the next step, and he kind of didn't. Shout out to Elijah Chapman, the UDFA. I'm rooting for him, probably because he's one of the smaller, well, I can't even call him small, shorter guys, because the man can bench press 500 pounds and squat 800. So he's not a small guy. But Chapman, I like Chapman too. DJ Davison is another guy that a lot of us look down on, but he's a constant worker. I do see some improvement. But again, when there's Dexter Lawrence in there and then your replacement is DJ Davison, it's going to look crazy.
No, it's going to look
crazy. But those guys, they definitely do put in the work. But, you know, sometimes you just might not have it. You know, you just might not have it. And we'll see what happens this year. I do like the two guys that we brought in, though. I like Ledbetter. I like Roy Robinson Harris. Roy Robinson Harris is probably the only guy that makes Dexter Lawrence look like regular size. Roy Robinson Harris is a big dude, man. Pause.
Big man.
Yeah, right. 6'6". I don't know, 310, something like that. He's freaking huge.
He's tall. He doesn't have the girth.
Yeah, but he's tall.
Yeah, but yeah, he's strong.
He's definitely tall.
I don't know. It reminds me a little bit on what's his name, Robinson, Ashawn, who was with us.
Ashawn Robinson. Yeah. The Giant Topic says I feel the same way. Mike and Jermaine, to me, are easy extensions depending on how Flott plays. I do try to retain him at a cost-friendly 2-year deal. Yeah, I don't think Micah McFadden or Flott are going to cost you a lot of money. Jermaine Illuminor is probably going to be the one, if he has a big season, cost you a lot of money. But Micah McFadden and Flott, just off their track record, I think they're gonna be reasonably priced. Giant Topic also said, I'm excited for Tyrone Tracy, but I am crazy to think that by halfway through the year, Scatterable could be running back 1. I'm not going to say that Scatterable can't do it, but Tyrone Tracy surprised a lot of people last year with how fast he caught on to the running back position at this level, and his vision, contact balance. And the crazy thing is same thing for Scatterable. Contact balance, good vision. He's just compact. I think they had him listed at 5'10". I don't think he's 5'10" at all. He might be 5'9" and 220.
Yeah, he's probably about 5'9"-ish.
At most.
My thing is more so the play caller. If it's Dable is probably going to prefer Tracy. Because and I'm not saying Scat can't catch out of the backfield, but Dable is just so fixated on the pass game where, he tries to run, but it's not truly his foundational point. You know, I mean, it just baffles me how a lot of more of his plays are more OT to the outside as opposed to, running some inside zone a little bit more. Scat can give you that inside zone run, so he has good cutback ability, the physicality, the tough. I mean, we all love that. So
yeah,
that's the thing. So who's the play caller for me.
Yeah, and then I mean the early assumption is that he's going to give play calling back to Kafka. I mean that's the early assumption right now. We'll see what happens. Last year they waited all along, said we haven't made that decision yet. Meanwhile, he was the one calling the plays in practice. So far, from what I've read in the OTAs and in minicamp, it was Kafka that was the one calling in the plays. So we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully that's the truth. We'll see what happens. I want Dable to coach the entire team, not just the offense. He needs to be the head coach, not just the offensive coach, or fixated on what the offense is doing, and then when the defense is out there on the field, not even be on the side. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with that. My man Dealer says, I don't think Scat can do what Tracy does behind the line of scrimmage. Tracy has met by defenders. Tracy was met by defenders in the backfield a lot last year, and he made something out of nothing. Can Scat do that? I don't know.
Go watch the Texas the playoff game against Texas.
Yeah, he can definitely do it. Yeah, he can definitely do it.
He has cutability now. Is he as dynamic and explosive as Tracy? No. I'm not going to sit there and say that, but he gives you something different. So, and you know what? His toughness, where he'll put his shoulder into a defensive lineman's chest and put him on his ass.
Yeah.
Sometimes that also sends a message to a defender where they don't want to hit him in the backfield. They want to at least have their teammates so they're filling the gap, so they make it a stone wall where it's hard for him, as opposed to you penetrate and he comes and lowers his shoulder and hits you right in your chest, and you laying on the ground looking up at the ceiling. So it's a catch-22.
Yeah, no, I like the 1-2 punch of Tracy and Scatterbo. I want to think about these guys more of working together, not somebody like outshining the other guy. If we can really get a running attack going, we're gonna need both of these guys doing what they do best. And I can see a world where Tracy breaks off a 60-yarder for a touchdown. Then I can see where the New York Giants need 5 yards for a first down. And Scatterbo being that guy that can get the 5, but also add another 5 on top of that, and giving the sideline and the team that burst of energy that they need, giving the crowd that type of energy.
You need no more 3rd and 1s, and you coming out and spread and passing the freaking ball. It's line up, as Bill Parcells always said. I don't care if they know what's coming. Can they stop us? And if you don't have confidence in your team, that to me, that's an indictment on you as the head coach. That's a major indictment, because you haven't instilled toughness in them. You just haven't. You're
right on. You're right on point. For me, it's like even when it comes down to practicing, like how hard are your practices? In the preseason, how long are you playing? Are you playing your starters? We need to come out strong starting the season, and physical practices. Being able to get a lot of reps in preseason, all that stuff matters. And Dable has a reputation of being a lighter practice type of guy. And then we've seen the results in preseason already. You're satisfied with one set it down? One series. And that's it. Like, no, let's learn from our mistakes and let's do it the right way this time. That's why I like the practices with Detroit. That's why I like the practices this year with the Jets, because the coach for the Jets is coming from that Detroit Lions background where they have those tough practices, and they're going to bring that type of energy, and hopefully, we can do the same. Now, last year, did we meet Detroit's? Did we meet their energy? I think so. It was a lot more fights than being productive, of course. And we see what happens with that. But yeah, we got to be physical, man. We can't waste time in these practices, man.
No.
My man Jay Hernandez says a random hot take, but we should have hired Brian Flores. I feel like we would have been in a better position right now. So the first thing I want to say to that is spilt milk is spilled milk. I was one of those guys that were on the Brian Flores team when it came between those two. We went with Brian Dable, and I understood the reasons why. Offensive mind, the whole Josh Allen thing coming out of Buffalo, the connection with him and Joe Shane. I understood why Brian Flores was my guy back then. Again, what happened, and it is what it is. How do you feel about that, Coach?
I was more on Brian Flores also. He was a veteran head coach over Dable, who was a rookie. We have been through that before. So, and I get they wanted offense, and he was the offensive genius in a sense, but yes, you're right. It's spilt milk. It's 2020 is hindsight. at the point you understood that he was supposed to come in and change this offense, make it a little bit more dynamic, and but as you've said, and quite a few other Giants fans have always said, the New York Giants aren't built around offense. It's always built on complementary football, but mostly defense.
Defense, absolutely. We got a Commander fan in the building. Raise Hell is in the building. Shout out to the Commander fan. We're gonna keep it at that. We had an Eagles fan in here last week. He kept it cool though, so we ain't go too crazy on him. But week 1, Raise Hell. Week 1. See you there. Shout out to my man Strider in the building. Said, "What up, Big Dash? What's going on, Strider?" Shout out to Strider too, man. He's a content creator. He does gaming. Dope guy. Put out good content too as well. I was able to jump on one of his not one of his live. I checked into one of his live streams. I forget what game he was playing, but he was doing this thing. No, shout out to him. My big brother says, "Shout out Dash and Coach dropping gems." That's my real big brother, man. Just so you know, too, Coach. That's my big brother.
Peace and blessings.
And then how's I didn't get a chance to ask you. It just reminded me because my brother he lives in Plainfield. He was able to be safe during this crazy flood that's going on. How are you? How are you and your family? Everybody good?
Yeah. I mean, where I'm at in West Orange, man.
Okay. I didn't know if you still have family in that area too.
No, I have family. My peeps on the west side. So my auntie's been there, 70 years. She's like, I'm good. Plus the way her house sits, it's up off of the road, so it's a little bit elevated. So I
saw some of the videos, man. It was crazy. It was crazy.
No, I saw those videos too. Sent it to all my siblings because they're down south, and they were just like, oh my gosh, and they were checking on their friends and stuff. So but it sounds like everybody was good.
Shout out to my man Dealer. He says, "Yeah, big backs like Scat need some running room to gain momentum so they can use their power to their advantage. If he's hit by numerous defenders in the backfield, his power can only do so much." Now, that's a fact. I ain't gonna argue with that. That's anybody though. You get hit in that backfield, it's a wrap. If you get enough arms on you, you're gonna go down. Shout out to my man J Jan 300 with the $1.99 super chat. Let me go ahead and hit that.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
All right, he says, "Fam, I'm feeling a 2-1 start this season. Defense. Now, when you say 2-1 start, which 2 games you got us winning, and which one you got us lose? I'm curious. I'm curious because I would listen. I think I know where he's going, and which I like the way that he's going. If he's thinking like I'm thinking, I want to start 2-0. I want to beat the 2 teams in the division, definitely. And then what happens with the Chiefs happens with the Chiefs. It's okay. But guess what? We would still be leading that division if we start off 2-0. No matter what any other team does, because we're the only team in our division that has 2 division opponents our first 2 weeks. So we will be number 1 in the division regardless. I mean, unless the team is 3-0 after 3 weeks, but it is what it is. But now, shout out to JJ, thank you for the love and support. Now, Coach, we're gonna wrap things up. So I want to do a couple things. Let the people know where they can find you. Go ahead and do that first.
Oh, my page is Coach Ed Gladney's Amazing World of Sports, and that's Ed with 2 D's. I'm on there, doing a lot of different things. WNBA. I'm even tapped in right now watching the All-Star game.
Okay.
I got a WNBA podcast that I do on Tuesdays. Do Heart of the City with my boy NYG22, or as some of you guys know, on Popular Opinion Sports. So I'm doing everything. I'm going to be coming out with a college football because that's my number 1 love. So I'm going to be streaming a lot of college football games, and like I said, I got a show coming out where I'm going to break down all the FBS conferences. Just make sure to tap into that. And like I said, I cover every sport for the most part as best I can. So, and I'll even do arena. There's a team in Jersey. They're playing for their league championship. So I'm going to talk to my man and see what's going on, see if I can try and get to the game. So I'll cover everything. So maybe somewhere down the road, I'll be doing some high school football too. So
that's a fact. Now, one thing we do know, you stay busy though, Coach. You're committed, you're consistent, and that's one thing about YouTube. Consistency, people respect that. And again, that's why when when it comes to you, Coach Ed, I remember the first time I saw you, it was you and Big Pat breaking down tape. And I was like, I could sit and watch watch the two of you guys break down film forever. And it's just been dope ever since that. And then getting around you, getting to know you, fantastic man, and a lot of love and respect for you, Coach. And again, for everybody out there, he put it out there. Anything he got you covered. All sports, he got you covered. Shout out to my New Jersey brethren. Coach Ed, you know what? I appreciate
watch on conference, brother.
Watch on conference. Yeah. There you go for sure. But no, I appreciate you for coming on, stopping by, and spreading some of that knowledge and jewels that you always drop for us, man. And you have a great night, man. Anything else you want to say?
I appreciate you as always, man. It's nothing but love. You guys keep supporting him, keep growing his channel, keep helping him get out there. You know, maybe one day we can see him at MetLife Stadium on the sideline interviewing big blue players. So, you know, that would be an honor seeing you out there doing that. So that's my wish for you, bro. So
I appreciate that. One step at a time. I definitely got some goals and that hopefully I can meet. Right now, you know, it's a hobby. I'm doing what I love to do, and that's talking New York Giants football. And I get to share that love with a lot of other people that feel the same way about the Giants. And I'm talking about the chat and also talking about the guy that's next to me right now. So salute to you, Coach Ed. Thank you very much for your time, and you have a good night, man. Have a good night.
Brother. Thanks for having me, man. I'll talk to you later.
No, thank you. Pleasure's mine. All right, everybody. Let me go ahead and get this thing going. My man D. Illa says, but Tracy was able to avoid some of that traffic behind the line of scrimmage, though. That's why I believe he'll be preferred option for most of the year as long as he can hold on to the ball, of course. Now, that's a fact. Man. He got to clean up the fumbling. I don't think it's a real issue, but he did fumble in some critical points. And he knows that. And one thing that I like about players, if they can recognize what they need to work on, and he made it, he let it be known that's definitely something that he's working on. Ball security. He got like the grip strengtheners and all that other stuff. He was talking about how he ordered, you know, the apparatus on Amazon. But, you know, Tracy is definitely one of those guys. In my opinion, he is dynamic, a little bit more dynamic than Scatterable, but I'm looking for the 1-2 punch for sure. Kalen Warner says some defenders pride themselves on saying no one can run me over, but Scatterable is the one saying, I know you're 250 pounds and I know you're fast and I'm still going to run over you. That's a fact. He does have the Mighty Mouse complex for sure. My man Strider says, keep Dart on the bench. Don't put him out there till way later in the season. I am somebody that believes in that. I believe the best thing for Dart is for him to sit and develop. A lot of people, and I see it every day on social media, and I see it on sports media. Everybody the topic of the conversation is, when is Dart going to start? And for me, if we see Dart early, I think that's because the Giants are losing. And they just want to throw somebody out there. But I think the best thing for him and for the New York Giants is for him to learn, sit behind Russell Wilson, sit behind Jameis Winston, and soak up as much as he can, to move forward. And, be the Giants quarterback of the future, which I believe he can be. Absolutely. My pleasure, Coach. He says, thank Dash, everyone. Love talking New York Giants football. Yeah, we can talk all night, man. That's a fact. My man, Lori, says amazing video with Coach. Yeah, and that's a fact. Shout out to Coach, man. I appreciate it. He's the one. Well, he gave the credit to TP Way, but I saw his comment saying, let's talk about an all-time New York Giants roster, and that's what we were able to do today. So hopefully, for the people that came late, that's what we did earlier, the first hour of the show. We built our own Ultimate New York Giants team. So if you weren't around for that, make sure you go back and watch that portion of the video. Shout out to my man, Christian Fuentes. He says, shout out Big Dash, one of the best and most dedicated Giants content creators out there. Would love to see you on a guest spot with the Giants Collective. That's a fact. I am trying to figure something out with, Fireside Giants. I think we're going to do a show. It might come out Tuesday. We'll see what happens with that. But I'm in contact with those guys. And shout out to the Giant Collective, too. Who's that? That's the Entertainer. That's Bad Dog. That's Anthony Rivardo, and that's, what's her name? Not Juliana. What's her name? I'm messing up, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And shout out to her too, doing a thing. I think it's the Giants' latest. That's her show. I know I messed up her name, and I do apologize for that. Strider says, I know this quarterback had a decent career, but Carson Palmer was a good, but he sat his rookie year. I got you now, Strider. And he was ready to start second year. No, it's a lot of quarterbacks that run into that situation where they sat behind players and they were better. Just look at not Brett Favre, but Aaron Rodgers. Patrick Mahomes sat. It's a lot of players that sat and they needed to sit. Carson Palmer was another one. He sat behind John Kitna, and he was better for it too. So now I think with the situation with Dart came out, and we knew there was some things that he needed to work on coming out of Ole Miss. That offense is different. The way Lane Kiffin runs his offense is very, very quarterback friendly. And, it's a lot of this stuff might be one read or they're reading a defender, and he needs to be able to go through his progressions more consistently, in my opinion. Now, again, this is my opinion. Some people might disagree with it, and that's fine. I'm not the expert of experts, but I do believe that he would benefit, from sitting. And then guess what? If they have to throw him out there, hopefully he's ready to go when his name is called at the end of the day. Because for me, I bleed blue, and whoever they throw out there, I'm going to support for real. Strider says Aaron sat for like 3 years. That's a fact. Brett Favre held that team hostage. And then look, right after that, Aaron Rodgers did the same thing to Jordan Love. Jordan Love sat for 2 years? I think it was 2 years. Oh, no, Jordan Love sat for 3 years too before he took over. But let me just make sure I got through all my super chats. I think I'm good there. We're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I appreciate everybody for vibing with me. I thought it was a good show. Hopefully you guys feel the same way. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And make sure you hit that like button and let the algorithm know that we in the building. When we in the building, there might be a show in the middle of the week. I was thinking about maybe recapping some of the training camps. We'll see what happens. I usually put out a regular video. I don't go live during training camp, but we'll see what happens. If something moves me, or if it's just a fantastic practice, maybe I'll jump on live in the middle of the week. But if not, I'm going to be here to do the recaps every Saturday. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows Big Blue Nation.